Hello everyone, my name is Iran Paul. I'm your passive income expert. In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the habits which you must have if you want to create and build passive income streams. And so really important for you to figure out is what you're going to do with the time which you have. You have 24 hours a day, you have to manage it, you have to do something, some activity which you have to do with the time which you have in this world. And so habits are created when you do something repeatedly over and over and over again. And if you want to make sure that you build good habits, you have to do those good habits repeatedly. And nobody's gonna come hold your hands and do that activity for you. You have to do it by yourself. And so when you think about a person who is making passive income, that person should have certain skills and the knowledge, but more importantly, that person has to have habits which make him passive income. So those habits which normally people who are doing a job, those people have the habits of an active income person. But in this video, I'm going to share with you the habits of a passive income producing human being. Alright, so without any further ado, let's get started and talk about it. But before talking about it, I just want you to understand that these habits will take some time for you to develop. It's not going to happen overnight. You can't get the results overnight, but if you start working on yourself, analyzing your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and try to understand what other people are doing in their 24 hours and how you can differentiate yourself from other people by utilizing this 24 hours in a day by doing things which most people are not willing to do. And so if you think about those people who are earning passive income, only the top 1% of people are able to do it because they already have money to make money work for them, right? But those people who don't have money have to use their brain, have to use their skills to make and build passive income. And so you can either make passive income through your existing money, which you already have, or you can make money, which is passive income, through your skills. And so those people who are starting out, they will obviously make money through their skills because they don't have existing capital to invest in income producing assets or appreciating assets. So it's important for you to build some habits. There are many bad habits which you have to remove from your life, and you have to incorporate the good habits which would help you to make money. And these habits might not be something which your parents or your teachers might teach, because you are the one who's going after passive income, so you have to sort of do those activities which successful passive income earners have done in their life. And so let me go ahead and talk about the first habit which you have to build, and that is the person who's making passive income actually works before they get paid. Alright, so you have to work before you get paid. And most of the time people expect money even before working, right? But in passive income, you have to put in the work up front, whether it might be creating online courses or publishing a video on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, or you can also create ebooks. But whatever stream you're working towards, you really have to figure out a way to make money out of it. But you have to be patient when it comes to making money, because money is not gonna come overnight. You have to wait for money to land in your bank account and then hand or touch and feel that paper note in your hands. And so those people who are making passive income, I just want you to understand they put in a lot of effort up front. Because think about it, if you don't have any product to sell or service to sell, then you have no money, right? You do not make money if you don't have anything to sell. But if you have something to sell, let's say in your blog or in your course or in your ebook or in your downloadable PDF or any kind of asset, digital product, it has to make money for you. And people want results instantaneously. And so most of the time you will have that habit of constantly checking through your analytics to see if there is any growth or improvement in the product or service that you're offering. Are the sales going up? There's nothing wrong in checking the analytics, but guess what? Checking analytics would only tell you your current income. It is not going to tell you what you're going to receive in your hands. So it takes time for compound interest. It takes time for income to come and land in your account. It doesn't happen in 1 day or 2 days. Sometimes people get lucky, but doesn't mean that they're going to maintain that luck throughout their life. But what I would say is you have to develop the habit of blocking time daily and weekly to build digital or physical assets. And so most people don't have time to do that, but you have to develop that habit of waiting for that money. And so you have to do the work, and you have to find time to do the work. And if you are doing a job, you have to find time after your job to make money. And so working before you get paid is super important. You have to do the work up front, and so you can't expect the payment immediately like a job or a freelancing where you're getting paid per hour or per week or per month. But here you're going to get paid maybe even in years. It takes time for assets to build up and appreciate in value, and the time is what creates the magic here. Alright, so you have to wait for that time where that snowball effect will eventually give you the maximum return on your investments. Now the second one is you have to automate everything possible, because automation is crucial for building passive income, and most of the time people do not automate because they don't have that habit of automation. They don't think about scaling and how can I completely remove myself from the job. How can the robot or a clone of myself go to work and do the work? They don't even think about it, folks, because they are having that weak mindset of a person who is an employee or a job-centric person. And so they don't actually know how to do business and do business online. And so you obviously need to automate whatever you're doing. Try to make sure that you can do it. The business still runs without your presence, alright? And so automate everything as possible. This is the second habit which I would recommend you to follow. So use tools to save time. You can, do email marketing, automated email marketing. AI writing tools are also available like ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini. You can use these tools to automate, and then you can also use scheduling software to schedule. Let's say you want to schedule a meeting, one-on-one meeting, then you can use Calendly, and Calendly will be able to schedule your meeting on Google Meet. And then you can also automate payment systems, because you have to still make money without talking to people and while sleeping. So when you want to make money without talking to people and without your presence, you have to fully automate and scale your business. And so the habit is you have to regularly research and set up automation to replace manual tasks or repetitive tasks which you're trying to do, right? You do not have to do everything. AI can help you out, and that will improve your productivity. It will improve the quality of the work, and it will also help ensure that you are not burned out, all right? You're not tired after doing the work, because you're not doing everything by yourself, all by yourself. You don't have to do it, because every business grows when you have systems which would make money for you even while you sleep. And so you have to build those systems. And the third habit, which obviously not a lot of people have it, but I want you to have it, is to keep learning, all right? Because if you're not learning, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, your income never stays the same. So it's gonna make sure that you have to make progress in your learning. And nobody is 100% perfect in terms of knowledge, right? We humans have a lot of limitations in our brain, but you must always learn about making money, making passive income, and you have to research about the markets, and you should have excellent marketing skills, excellent technology skills, and you have to research about new platforms and constantly keep yourself up to date with the latest technology which is available. Because what happens here is that most people who are not using AI in their business are not able to automate, and so they get burned out, and then they give up and they leave the business and do something else. And so it is important for you to take advantage of the new tools and technology that is out there and utilize them to make money work for you. And then the habit which I want you to develop is you have to spend time daily or weekly reading high quality financial books, and you have to watch tutorials and take online courses so that you are having that knowledge and skill set to stay up to date. And then the fourth habit which I would like you to develop is to think in systems, not tasks, okay? Think about system which you can follow, and even after you die, somebody else will be able to follow the system of procedures and then do the business efficiently. So this is going to be super important, because you have to build systems which are scalable, all right, and automatable. And so you have to build systems that run without your presence. And so, for example, it can be evergreen content, it can be funnels, and it can also be something that would help you to do the business once and then scale it multiple times. And so that is eventually what is passive income. And so you have to map out workflows and build repeatable processes which can be replicated even after you die, because if you don't replicate it, you're not going to make money. So you just have to build systems which you can follow. It has to be organized, and it has to be systematic, and it has to be structured, because if it's not structured, organized, or systematic, then it will be hard for people to follow through and implement your system of procedures in order to make money. And then fifth habit which I want you to develop is to analyze what's working, because analysis is super important. You have to analyze the data which comes in through that is a feedback. You have to analyze what's working, what's not working, and based on that, be flexible enough to make changes in what you're doing so that you're able to maximize the revenue. And so you have to track your income. It's like the balance sheet, you know, the income, how much is coming in, the assets, the liabilities, and the income and the expenses. You must keep track of it, all right? And so the traffic is also important, how much visitors are coming into your website and what they're doing, their behavior in the website, the bounce back rate, and all of those SEO has to be tracked. And you have to track the key performance indicators, like how much money you're making, who are the key performance indicators, is it the number of customers. You have to do it by yourself, but the tracking is super important, because if you don't measure, you're not going to improve. So the habit which you want to build here is you have to review your analytics weekly and monthly. Not daily. You shouldn't be obsessed with your analytics, but you should review it and you have to make data-driven decisions, all right, folks? Because Elon Musk, think about it, the world's richest person in the planet as of 2025, he's making decisions based on data, all right, based on the feedback of customers. And so that's why Grok is able to perform well in the benchmarks of chatbots. And so I really want you to understand that we have to perform based on data-driven decisions. And so you have to analyze your analytics and make decisions and improve your decision making based on the data or the information which you have. And so it is super important. And the sixth habit which I want you to develop is you have to practice patience, okay, and delayed gratification, because most of the time what people do is they expect the results instantaneously, immediately, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to come immediately. You have to be patient. You have to wait for the results. And so if you don't have that patience, you're not going to make it for the long term. So you have to understand that compounding takes time, and so you have to be patient, and you also need to have that instant gratification mindset. Should never take and destroy your passive income journey, all right? So you have to have that opposite of instant gratification, which is delayed gratification. And so stay focused on for months without expecting quick profits, because this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is going to take time for you to build assets and which would generate money. And so you really have to take care of it by having that patience and delayed gratification. The seventh habit which I want you to have is to create more than you consume. A lot of people are trained to consume, not to produce, not to create something on their own. You know, if you look at your life from your childhood, are you consuming a lot of content than producing it? If you're consuming, then you are a consumer. And as per statistics, consumers are the ones who lose money, and producers are the ones who are making money. So if you're not creating something, you're just losing money. And so spend more time building than scrolling or consuming. So without wasting your time scrolling through social media and consuming what other people have created, you have to create something which other people can consume, all right? And so the habit which you have to develop is you have to limit social media and focus on producing content or improving systems. So focus on building your own skills, building your own knowledge, understanding, and make sure that you're able to use your time productively by creating something which other people can consume. Alright, so that would be my seventh habit, which is to create more than you consume. Alright, I'm not asking you to stop consuming completely. You can take inspiration from those content which you're consuming, but you really have to create more than you consume. And the eighth habit which a person who's making passive income has is that person publishes regularly. Alright, consistency is super important, because at the end of the day, most people give up in the middle. They do not go till the end, till the finish point. And so if you want to separate yourself from most people, then you have to publish regularly on a consistent basis and still maintain the quality, alright? So quality is super important, because you shouldn't compromise on the quality just because of maintaining consistency. And so you have to publish regularly, whether it's blogs, videos, courses, or content that generates recurring revenue. Okay, your monthly recurring revenue, or MRR, has to go up every single month. It can be through Patreon, or it can be through membership website, it can be through online courses, it can be through ebooks, it can be through any subscription-based service, alright, but like the YouTube join button. But you really have to make sure that you're able to generate more money every month on a recurring basis by publishing regularly for your target audience. And so the habit here is to create a content calendar and stick to it consistently. If there is a content calendar, then people might stick to it. But if there is no calendar, they feel like, you know what, I can just do anything with my time, then you're not disciplined, all right? So you're not going to maintain consistency if you're not disciplined and if you don't have a purpose. And then the ninth important habit of a person who's making passive income is that person actually reinvests all the earnings back into building passive income streams. And so it is important for people to, realize that they have to reinvest their money back into their business and not spend it recklessly on liabilities like a car. A car is a liability, and so it is important for you to only spend money on appreciating assets, and then also you really have to buy things which will make money for you in the long term. And so you have to reinvest your profits back into your business, and so for doing that you have to invest your money back into building systems instead of spending it immediately after you get it. Do not spend money immediately after you get it, because rich people spend what is left after investing, and the poor people are the ones who invest what is left after they spend money. And so the habit which I want you to develop is to allocate a portion of passive income to reinvest back into your business so that it can grow, it can scale, and it can exponentially multiply and compound over time. And the last habit, which is the 10th habit, which I want you to follow if you want to build passive income, is avoid shiny object syndrome. This is the problem with a lot of people is they get distracted. The focus is not in making money. Instead, they're focusing on doing something which is not making them money and wasting their time in consuming things which will make money for the other person and not for them. And so they do not focus on a specific method, and then they jump around trying out different things instead of trying one thing perfectly. So you shouldn't get attracted to that shiny object. If you get attracted to that shiny object, you lose focus, you're distracted clearly, and you're not going to make passive income. And so you have to avoid shiny object syndrome. And the habit which I want you to follow is to maintain a clear strategy, a plan, a dedicated approach, and avoid distractions or new flashes. When people ask you to do something, analyze whether it will make money for you in the long term or not, and then go ahead and do that activity. But do not fall for flashy, shiny objects which are capturing your attention. So for doing that, you have to write down your distractions and make sure that you avoid activities which would get you in a distracted state. You have to cut the source. Cut the source of the problem. Your problem is going to be solved, and it is going to be taking time, but you have to wait patiently. You have to be having that patience and perseverance to go and accomplish what you want to accomplish. And so if you follow all of these 10 habits, folks, I can guarantee you're going to make passive income, and you're going to really make sure that you're able to sustain that and maintain that for a long time. Most of the time what people do is they spend their income and they don't have anything left to invest. And that's why those people who are having no money, they really have to have this thing, the skills, which is going to make them money. And so you really have to do that. But I believe that majority of people don't have any money up front. So if you don't have any money up front, you're not going to have anything to invest. So you have to work on building this brain and make it much more knowledgeable and skilled enough to make passive income. And if you can do that, I would really say that you can become a successful person who is building passive income streams and playing the long game, because not many people play the long game. They want instant results, instant gratification, but you really have to follow these habits and try to think about it. If you have 24 hours a day, what activities do you do during those 24 hours? What are the activities which are consuming the majority of your time during the day? You have 8 hours of sleep, all right? You have 8 hours of work, and then 8 hours with God. So that 8 hours of work is super important here. And so if you're not utilizing those 8 hours productively in making something which is going to be creating value to the marketplace, then you're not going to make money while you sleep. So you have to build systems and habits, which obviously you're doing it subconsciously, all right? Your subconscious brain is able to do that without even thinking about it, so that it's able to generate money for you in the long term. And so you have to carefully analyze what you're doing throughout your day, what are your existing habits, and try to replace those bad habits with these habits so that you can become a person who's eligible or worthy of making passive income, because people should earn it, right? It shouldn't be given to them. They have to earn it. And so to earn it, they have to really work and earn it, so that they can get to know about the sweat, blood, and tears which goes into making money, all right? So you have to put yourself in a situation where you're put yourself in the streets. There is nobody to take care of you, nobody to help you. In that case, your brain is going to be your companion. Your brain, your skills, and whatever knowledge which you have stored in your brain is going to help you. And so make sure that you develop this most important organ to survive and make money for you, because if you invest in your brain, improving your brain and upskilling yourself, then you're gonna make a lot of money. And you're not chasing the end goal, which is money. You're enjoying the process of making money, and that is more important than anything else. And so I really request you to follow the advice and implement and apply it practically in real life, because if you want to see the transformation take place in your life, you have to do it in real life and see it for yourself. You have to do some experiments, and you have to check which one works and which one doesn't work, and you have to keep going, and you shouldn't let anyone stop you from reaching your goal. And you shouldn't stop yourself from reaching your goal. Sometimes your mind can be your biggest enemy, but analyze your thoughts, the words, your actions, and then align those thoughts, words, and actions into building passive income streams. And this way, you are not an employee, you are not a job seeker. Instead, you will be a job provider, and you will create jobs for other people. And so I really wish you all the best. Follow these advice, and you're gonna transform your life. And if you see that transformation, leave it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you what transformation took place in your life. And if you need more advice related to how to make passive income streams for your specific scenario, then do let me know. You can shoot an email, and you can also visit abrahampaul.com for latest information regarding how you can build passive income streams. We are living in a different world right now because of artificial intelligence, and so there is a revolution taking place on how to make money, which is passive income without showing your face, without even you doing the work by yourself. You can hire people to do the work for you. And so there are multiple different ways by which you can do it. But I really want you to follow and implement the advice which I've talked about in this video and see the transformation happen in your life. Thank you so much everyone for watching. If you found value from this video, you can share it to someone who really wants to make passive income. they can have a job, but if they want to create additional income streams other than their job, this video might be helpful for them to get to know about the habits which they need to have to build passive income streams. Thank you so much for watching this video. I wish you all the best.